In Thevenin theorem, we'll find out open circuit voltage, and in Norton's theorem, we'll find closed circuit current. Okay. So we'll start with the example here. Find the current across A and B using Norton's theorem. So we have gone with the AC source here. These are the J terms which are given. So what they have given, we have to find current across AB. So AB is the terminal. That means this is the load terminal. We have to find the current here. Using Norton's theorem, they have told. So Norton's theorem is what? The load terminal should be shorted. So what we have done here, the load terminal is shorted. So first you have to see which theorem. Okay, what theorem they have given. Based on that you should check. Here see, the load terminal is shorted. Getting it? The load terminal is shorted, and what we have to do, we have to find out the current here. How much is the current? So we'll go on with the network now. This is the network. They have given 50 at an angle 30. That is also a current source only. This is also a current source. So next, one important concept is here. See, current source is there. I have to find the current here. Fine. See, this branch. Okay. This branch having a resistance of 5 ohm plus J5. Okay. 5 plus J5 is the resistance in this branch. This branch will be completely neglected. Can you tell me, or can you think of what will be the reason? The reason is here. See, there is a short circuit in front of this branch. Okay, this branch has a short circuit. So whatever the current is coming after 10 ohm will take the path of least resistance. So which path is having least resistance or zero resistance? Short circuit has zero resistance. So all the current will go in the AB path. Okay, all the current will move here, and no current will pass through 5 plus J5. So completely this branch will be neglected, or there will be no voltage drop there. It will be completely neglected. So all the current will pass through the short circuit path, because it is the path that has zero resistance. So you should be very careful. The basic will be used here. So we can go with the formula like main current is branch current, that is IN, that is Norton's current or short circuit current, ISC. The other name for that. So IN is equal to main current into resistance of the opposite branch. What is the resistance of the opposite branch? It is 5 plus J5 divided by sum of resistances. Sum of resistance is what? 5 plus 10 is 15. It is 15 plus J5. So this is important. What we have written? Branch current is equal to main current into resistance of the opposite branch. See, branch current is what? We want current in AB. AB is equal to, or current in AB, that is IN. IN is equal to main current is 50 at an angle 30 into resistance of the opposite branch is 5 plus J5 into sum of resistances. Sum of resistances means 10 plus 5 should be added. So we'll get IN. Getting it? So we got the short circuit current IN. Next, what we have to find out? We have to find out equivalent impedance. See, if to find out equivalent impedance, what was the formula which we followed, or what we will do? We have to see whether in the network there are any voltage source or current source. Okay, in our network we have a current source. So what we have to do with current source? Current source should be open circuited. So here it is removed. See here, current source is open circuited here. Fine, current source is removed. So we don't have any voltage source. So this is the network now. Fine, this is the network we have. So what we'll do? Looking from the network, or looking from the terminal AB. So 5 plus J5, these are in series. This is also 5 plus J5. This is also in series. Okay. See this completely, this is open now. So this completely, this full term, this completely will be in series. That is 10 plus 5 is 15. So 15 plus J5 will be parallel with what? Will be parallel with 5 plus J5. So it is 15 plus J5 into 5 plus J5 divided by 20 plus J5 plus J5. Just adding it. 15 plus 5 is 20. So these two, all these terms are in series. 10, 5 and J5 are in series. That is in parallel with 5 plus J5. You should be able to analyze it. So we'll get Z equivalent as 5 at an angle 36.86. After finding Norton's current and its equivalent impedance, you have to draw the Norton's equivalent circuit. This is important. Okay, we have taken the Norton's current in the downward direction. So put it in the downward direction here, and it is having a parallel impedance of 5 at an angle. Okay, this is the Norton's equivalent circuit for J terms. Okay, next we'll go with one more important concept. Method for calculating Z equivalent for a network with dependent source. Okay, whenever we have, see till now in the examples which we had seen for Thevenin's and Norton's, there was no dependent source. So now we'll see if a network has dependent source, what is the formula you have to follow. Because if you have a dependent source, we can't open and short circuit like this. Okay, for dependent source should be kept like that only. It cannot be open and short circuited. So what is the formula? So a network containing dependent source cannot be short circuited or open circuited since it depends upon a particular voltage. So we have to go with the formula Z equivalent is equal to, okay, that is resistance. Z equivalent is nothing but resistance. Resistance is equal to voltage divided by current. Same Ohm's law it is. Okay, Z equivalent is equal to voltage divided by current. So what is this voltage? This is Thevenin's equivalent voltage. After open circuiting, whatever voltage we'll get, that is VOC here. VOC is Thevenin's equivalent voltage, or it is open circuit voltage divided by current. What is this current? Current is Norton's equivalent current, or it is short circuit current. So whenever in a network we have a dependent source, okay, we have a dependent source, we have to find Z equivalent by using the formula VOC divided by ISC, that is Thevenin's open circuit voltage divided by Norton's short circuit current. By using this formula, you have to find Z equivalent. You can't go with the method of opening the current source and shorting the voltage source. That method we should not follow when we have a network having a dependent source. In most of the exams, they'll go with this like this examples only, because here you have to find both. You have to go with Thevenin's and Norton's theorem. Both the theorems are required here. So when we solve the example, you will understand. See here, determine the Norton's equivalent circuit across the terminal AB in the network shown. So what they have given, you have to find a Norton's equivalent circuit. Just put Norton's equivalent means what? The load terminal should be shorted. So we have shorted here the load terminal. Fine. After shorting the load terminal, what will be the current in this resistor? 6 ohm resistor. There will be no current. Okay. Because Ix will be 0 here. That is important. Ix is 0. Getting it? Because all the current will go in this short circuit branch and no current will pass through this resistor. Getting it? So just we'll take this loop. We have to find out the short circuit current. So we'll take the loop here. Call the current as IN. Take the current in this loop as IN and write the equation. So it is entering the negative sign. It is minus 20 plus 4IN minus 6Ix is equal to 0. That equation is written. 4IN is equal to 20. So short circuit current is 5 amps. See here, what happened to 6Ix? This is completely 0. Okay. It is given, see, Ix is 0 here. So the term will go. That 6Ix will not remain. So we'll get only 4IN. This 20 comes this side. So the short circuit current is 5 amps. Only this much will not do, because since we have a dependent source here, we can't open or short circuit the terminal. For that, you have to find out open circuit voltage also. We have to do both. Okay. Now we have done Norton's short circuit current. Next we have to find out open circuit voltage. That is VOC across the terminal AB. So how much is the voltage here? The voltage here is nothing but the current. Okay. Whatever the current is there in this 6 ohm branch, that current into the resistance 6 will give me the voltage VOC. So first we'll find out the current. Assume that the current here, okay, the current in the loop is Ix. Since they have given everywhere Ix, you assume with the term Ix. Okay. Or if you take I1, you have to substitute wherever Ix is there, I1. that method also you can go. So just write minus 20 plus 4ix minus 6ix plus 6 into ix is equal to 0. Okay. So minus 6ix plus 6ix will get cancelled. So we'll get 4ix is equal to 20. Ix is 5 amps. That is current through this branch. Current through 6 ohm resistor is 5 amps. So how much is the voltage? Voltage is VOC is equal to Ix into 6. It is 5 into 6. It is 30 volts. Getting it? So open circuit voltage is 30 volts and short circuit current is 5 amps. So how to find out Z equivalent now? Z equivalent is open circuit voltage divided by short circuit current. That is 30 by 5. You will get 6 ohm. Z equivalent is 6 ohm. See, again I will tell you, whenever there is a dependent source, we will not go with the previous method. In previous method, what we did, when we had only independent sources, what we did, we were removing that independent sources. Okay, if it was a voltage source, we were shorting, or if it was a current source, we were opening. But when we have a dependent source, you have to go with the formula Z equivalent is equal to VOC by ISC. So wherever there is a dependent source, you have to use both the theorems. You have to use a Thevenin's theorem and find open circuit voltage, and Norton's theorem and find short circuit current. Both the theorems should be used to find out Z equivalent. So Z equivalent is 6 ohm now. Now draw the Norton's equivalent circuit. So Norton's equivalent circuit is what? The current source is 5 amps and its parallel impedance is 6 ohm. We had assumed the downward direction, so it is put in the downward direction. So this is the one of the very frequently asked question. Okay, very important problem. Next we'll see the same concept with some different numbers they have given. Find the current through the resistor 667 ohm using Norton's theorem. So this is the load, 667 is the load. You have to find the current through this resistor. So what we have to do with the load terminal? This load terminal should be shorted. So which is the load, you should be able to know. This is the load terminal. It is completely shorted. Here it is shorted. See, getting it? The load terminal is shorted and you have to find out the current now. So when which resistor will be neglected? This the resistor IA. Okay, for 1000 ohm what they had given, that resistor will be neglected. As usual, write the current. So when it is neglected, what will be IA? IA will be 0. Okay, when this IA is 0, this voltage source also will go. So we'll get short circuit current as 2 milliamps. After finding short circuit current, you have to find out open circuit voltage also. So we'll get voltage as 1.33 volt. The same with different numbers it is given, previous problem. And Z equivalent is VOC divided by ISC. So we'll get 665. So that is important. You have to write here. So this is Norton's equivalent circuit. So 2 milliamps with its parallel resistor is 665. What they have told, you have to find the current in 667. You have to find this current. So what will write? Main current. Okay, current through 667 is nothing but main current into resistance of the opposite branch divided by sum of resistances. So it will be nearly 0.999. It is nothing but 1 milli. That is the load current or current in 667 ohm resistor. So this is one of the example. Next example is find the current through 16 ohm resistor using Norton's theorem. Okay, these all are important questions. Again same here. Here what they have given, they have given a dependent source here. What type of dependent source it is? It is current dependent current source. Okay, before this what were the dependent sources here? This was what? Current dependent voltage source in the previous example. In previous two examples they are current dependent voltage source. It is depending upon the current. Here what it is? In the present example it is current dependent current source only it is. Okay, the symbol represents current source only. So it is current dependent current source. What we have to do? We have to find current through 16 ohm resistor. So which is the load terminal now? Load terminal is 16 ohm resistor. So the 16 ohms resistor is shorted. I have to find the current here. So how many loops are there? Two loops, I1 and I2, and this will constitute a super mesh. Do you remember the definition? What is super mesh? Between two meshes, if I get a current source, okay, this is a current source. So between two meshes, if I get a current source, we call it as super mesh. So write this current source in terms of loop currents. Which loop current should be taken first? We have to take I1 first, because I1 is in the direction. So I1 minus I2 is equal to 0.8. Okay, 0.8 Ix. Okay, what is Ix? Where it is dependent? Ix is nothing but the current here. That is in the Norton's branch. This is IN or Ix. Okay, it is nothing but I2 only. No, in this branch what will be the current? It is nothing but I2. It is equal to I2. So wherever we have Ix, what you have to write? You have to write I2. That is written here. 0.8, instead of Ix, we'll write it as I2. So I1 minus I2, just simplify it, we'll get one equation. Next we have to write super mesh equation. What you will write? You have to take both the meshes together. Okay, how to take both the meshes together? We'll just write the equation for that. We'll see here. It is minus 40 plus 10 into I1. Okay, this is 6 plus 6 into I2 is equal to 0. So two unknowns, two equations, solve it, you'll get I1 and I2. So what we want? Ix we want. Ix is nothing but I2. So our answer is IN is equal to I2. It is 1.66 amps. Only this much will not help. Next what we have to do? We have to find out open circuit voltage also, because we have a dependent source here. See, whenever it is opened here, it is opened means what? Here we don't have Ix branch now. Now what has happened? Now Ix is 0 because it is open circuited. There is no current here. When it becomes 0, so what will be the voltage here? The voltage here is whatever the 40 volts is there. Okay, whatever the 40 volts, that voltage will appear here. It is nothing but the open circuit voltage, because since it is a open loop, okay, this completely this term this 0.8 Ix will be gone, and it is completely a open loop. Okay, and there will be no drop across 10 ohm and 6 ohm also, because no current only in this. In this it is a completely open loop and no current, no drop. So whatever is 40 volts, that will be the open circuit voltage. You should be very careful. So VOC is 40 volts. So we got short circuit current and open circuit voltage. Substitute it, you will get Z equivalent. So Z equivalent is we got 24.09, and write the Norton's equivalent circuit. Okay. So this is one important. And what they have told you to find? They have told you to find the current through 16 ohm resistor. So the current through 16 ohm resistor, again main current into resistance of the opposite branch divided by sum of resistances. So this formula is used, and we'll get it as nearly 1 amps. So this is one of the example. And the last one is obtain current Ix in the circuit using Thevenin's theorem. They have given for Thevenin's theorem. Here also we have a dependent source here. It is current dependent voltage source. Okay. 2 Ix they have given. It is current dependent voltage source. So it is depending upon the current Ix here. So they have told you to find the current Ix also. Okay. This current Ix only is the load. Okay. This is the load network, or this is the load branch now. AB is the load branch. So in Thevenin's theorem, what we have to do for load? The load should be open circuited. So it is opened here. Okay. I have opened it and written as VOC with the polarity plus minus. Okay. It is an assumption. If you get negative answer, you have to change. So how much is the voltage here? You can write, okay, at this point, at the terminal A, the voltage is 10 volts only. This 10 volts will come here. At terminal B, you have to check the voltage. How much will be the voltage? How much will be the voltage? Voltage depends upon current and resistance. Okay. So since it is open here, okay, the Ix, whatever is there Ix is 0. So there is no voltage drop here. 2 Ix completely is removed. So it is completely shorted. Okay. So we have only 3 amps and 1 ohm. So 3 into 1 is 3. Okay. So 3 is the voltage across B terminal. Here it is 10. and here it is 3. So what will be the voltage here? It is 10 minus 3, difference in the voltage. So VOC is 10 minus 3, it is 7 volts. Okay, that is to find out the open circuit voltage. Thevenin's open circuit voltage. Next, as usual, find short circuit current. Short circuit current, just to short the terminal. Why we are going for short circuit current? We are going to do that only to find the equivalent impedance. Okay, to find equivalent impedance, we have to use the formula VOC divided by ISC. So short it. So two terminals are the two loops are there, I1 and I2, and again we have a current source in the middle. That means it is a super mesh. Okay, first write in terms of equation. Okay, I2 minus I1. Why we took I2 first? Because I2 is in the direction of 3 amps. So I2 minus I1 is equal to 3 amps. Just next write super mesh equation. So you'll get I1 is 2.33 and I2. So which is the current we want? We want Ix. Ix is nothing but I1. It is 2.33. So 2.33 is the short circuit current and VOC is the open circuit voltage. You only find out next Z equivalent. Okay, after finding Z equivalent, draw the equivalent circuit. Which equivalent circuit? Draw the Thevenin's equivalent circuit. Okay, hope you understood dependent source when dependent source is given for Thevenin's and Norton's theorem. Thank you.